Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. The fawn who played dead. In a forest there was a group. In the group there was a wise teacher. The teacher had a younger sister. One day the younger sister gave birth to a little fawn. So then as he got older, the younger sister wanted to enroll him into school. So then when she enrolled him in the school, he had always paid attention and never be late. He was on time on his classes and never disobeyed the teacher. So then he always finished his work on time. He played after he finished all his work that he was assigned to do. So then one horrible day, the fawn got trapped in a deadly trap. He was yelling out of pain, and his classmates were very scared. So they ran up to tell his mom. The mom asked the teacher if what if she could not get her fawn? How can she get it? So then the wise teacher said, "Do not worry. He had been listening to my lectures, and he had been very good and never disobeyed me. So he should be ready for any challenge. He should be able to get out." So the mother waited for a couple hours, while in the meantime, the fawn played dead. That was his first plan, was plan A. So he tried to become dead. He tried to play dead. So then he dig up like a very big hole. So it would make an illusion that he was trying very hard to get out. So then after that, he let out his urine to look that he had been scared to death. Then he spit all the saliva over himself, and he puffed up his whole body, and then there were birds and flies flying by, waiting to eat his flesh. Crows also waited very close and impatiently wanting to eat the fawn's flesh. So then in the morning, the hunter wanted to see what he got in his trap. So he saw the deer and the fawn in the trap. So then he immediately saw the signs that he was almost going to be dead. So he said to himself that how can a fawn almost be so dead overnight? That's so fast. And then the fawn tried to breathe through the nostril in the dirt. So then after when the hunter opened the cage, because he thought the fawn cannot move, so he opened the cage and did the fire and the pot and all the other necessary ingredients he was going to use. So after that, the fawn was missing. The fawn went and escaped and went back to his family, and the hunter did not find him and did not get to eat him. So the summary of the story is that there was a group of fawns in the forest, and then there was a wise teacher, and then he had a sister, and when the sister gave birth to a little son, a little fawn, so she enrolled him into school. So then the fawn was very listening to his teacher. So he learned every skill, and he always played after he was done with his assigned work. So then he, one unfortunate day, he fell into a hunter's trap. So he used all his skills to pretend he was dead. So he escaped and lived happily ever after. So the moral is wise, good students always listen to the teacher. So there will be benefits. So one example is from when I was in kinder, I always listened to the teacher, but I don't know how, but I just listened, and I really enjoyed it, and I had heart in it. So then I became the smartest student, they called me, because I always listened to the teachers while other students followed. I was in kinder, so I only learned basic skills, so I used it to build higher and higher and higher. So that is how I became to this level. So another example I read from a book is that there was a person who was always and hard to do something, but he never got to. So once his mother and him went to the school, he immediately listened to all the teachers, and so he copied everyone, and then he got the hang of it, so he didn't need to copy anyone anymore. So he developed the education, so he got higher and higher and higher. So at last, he became the wisest person in the city. At last, the person was always called the wisest and lived a long life. Namo Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Namo Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Namo Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Namo Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Namo Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Namo Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Once there was a group of forest deer. In the group there was a wise and cunning ways of the deer. One day his sister asked, "Oh brother, the teacher, please teach my son the tricks and skills of a deer." "Yes, you may. He will begin his lesson by tomorrow," he said. The son did as he was told, and during the beginning came to class as he was. But then later he became interested more in playing with the young does and bucks more than studying. He started cutting classes, and all he would play was hooky. The teacher did not know a way to teach the young deer. One day, while the young deer was playing, the deer was stuck and trapped by a hunter in a snare. Since the deer did not study any of the tricks or skills of a deer, the deer was stuck. After going missing, the mother deer asked the brother, "Oh brother, the teacher, have you been teaching my son the tricks and skills of a deer?" The teacher replied, "Oh, I have tried everything to teach him. You are obedient and respectful. He is not interested in studying any skills or tricks, but is rather interested in playing hooky." After hearing the sad news, the young deer was killed, skinned, and taken home for the hunter's family. The summary of the story is that once there were a group of forest deer. In the group, there was a deer that was wise and cunning type of a deer. He had a sister who asked him to let his son listen to his lessons. The brother agreed and said that he would start his lessons tomorrow. At first, he started showing up in class as he usually was, but then later became interested in playing with the young does and bucks and started skipping classes. Soon, he stopped going to classes, and all he would do was play hooky with the other deers, bucks, and does. One day, while he was playing hooky, he was stuck in a trap, and since he did not study and skipped class, he did not know how to escape. After he had gone missing, his mother asked the brother's teacher. She asked, "Oh brother, have you taught my son any tricks and skills for the wild?" The brother said, "Oh sister, I have tried everything to teach him the skill and tricks, but he would rather play with the young does and bucks. He was out playing hooky." After hearing the terrible news, the young deer was skinned and brought home for the hunter's family. And the moral of the story is that nothing can be learned from a teacher by one who missed the class. An example of this is if you were to have a teacher and go to school regularly, but like one day you decide that you were interested in something else and you started skipping classes, you wouldn't really learn anything. And so if you go to school, you would miss everything that the teacher has taught, and you wouldn't know what to do when you like do homework and tests. Another example of this is that one day, I was at school usually, and I decided to skip school for one day, and I did it because I was tired and I didn't want to because I wasn't interested. So the next day when I came back, I missed a lot of stuff and I did not know what to do. And we had an assignment and I couldn't do it. So I didn't really get a good grade on it. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.